Hi, my name is Srilakshmi. I am from Informatica GCS team. In this video, we will see how we can use a file listener as a source in B2B Gateway asset. This is the agenda for the video. We will see how to create a file listener with server option, how to use it as a source in a B2B Gateway asset, and the demo. So first I'll show you the setup, how I have created the file listener and what options I have selected and how to set up the B2B Gateway asset with file listener as a source. This is the B2B Gateway asset that I have created. So here I am using a custom file type, custom processing. Now in the um, inbound is where we select a file listener for a file inbound file processing. So with the connection type, I have selected file servers. File server user is ABC agent underscore AS2. Files enabled file servers are AS2, HTTPS, SFTP, and the file pattern. And this is where under schedule is where we select the file listener. Okay, the file listener I have selected is file listener underscore B2B info underscore AS2 server. So I'll show you how this file listener is created. What options have we selected for the file listener? So this is my file listener. So when we create a file listener, we have two options. We'll be given two types of sources. The first one is a server and the second one is connector. Here I have selected the server because my requirement here is to process the files which I receive to my AS2 server. So I have an AS2 server set up in my secure agent. So any partner who sends files to my AS2 server needs to be processed using B2B Gateway. So that's where file listener comes into picture. File listener helps me in notifying the B2B gateway when I receive a file from any partner. So event provider is AS2 server and the event type is AS2 message received successful activity. And the listener rules I have selected is the AS2 from ID. So we can have different file listeners based on different partners. So each partners can be differentiated using their from IDs, which is unique to all of the partners, to each of the partners. So AS2, based on the AS2 from ID, I have set up this file listener. So when I receive any file from a partner whose AS2 ID is AS2 underscore ABC agent, this file listener notifies the B2B gateway. So this is my file listener setup. So I have a file server which is running in my secure agent B2B infra and it is in started state. It is currently running and the file server user I have created for this file server for this partner is ABC underscore AS2. So under this file server user I have mentioned the AS2 ID of the partner. So we can have one file server user for one partner where we will give the information about the AS2 ID. Okay, the idea behind having a file server user is, for example, if the file partner sends a file, the file gets landed in the folder which is specified here. In this case, I have provided a custom folder which is root ABC agent underscore AS2. So whenever any partner sends a file to my file server, based on the AS2 ID, the file lands into the different locations. In this case, it lands into this folder which is mentioned under the file server. Okay, so this is the file server setup. So, and this is the file listener setup where I have mentioned the AS2 ID of the partner, and this is the B2B gateway setup. So here I have selected the file listener, and under connection I have selected file servers and I have mentioned the file server user where I have specified the partner's AS2 ID. Okay. Yeah, now let's try to send a file to this AS2 file server. So I am using an on-prem Informatica MFT product to send a file to the file AS2 file server. So I am executing this project. This project basically sends a file to my AS2 file server. So this is the file it is trying to send to the AS2 file server. The file is sent. Let's see if the file is received. Okay, so there are two places where we can check. The first one is file listener. Under file listener, let's see if the file 850 underscore demo EDI is received. Yes, it is received because we see it notified listed under the file listener. Another place where we can check is under file listener logs. Go to AS2 logs and check for the recent activity here. So we see here this activity, and here let's see if we can check the file name. Yes, the file name is here 850 demo edi. It is listed here. So the file is received by the file server. So the file server got the file. Now let's see if the B2B gateway, how it is processing at the B2B gateway. B2B gateway, we see an event that has got created based on the file 850 underscore demo. It is in transferring state. Now, when we run the B2B gateway asset, right, if there are any process to backend mappings, those mappings should ideally get started by this time. So let's go to all jobs and see if there are any tasks which are in running state. So yeah, so we see that the B2B gateway asset task has run, and now it is running the process to backend mapping. Let's wait for the process to backend mapping to get finished and see if the event state go to complete state under B2B gateway. The task has now completed. Now let's go to B2B gateway, refresh and see if the event status has gone to complete. So the event status has gone to complete state here. So this is how we can use file listener as a source, as a trigger for B2B gateway asset. Please let us know if you have any feedbacks. Thank you for watching this video.